Um, I want to show you this clip, and I'm going to come back on the other side and briefly, because I'm tired, and you probably can tell that I'm tired because the motors in my brain are starting to slow down. But I want to show you this clip, and I want to come back on the back end of this clip and briefly talk about why I stand where I stand today. Check this out.
There are many good colors, and I worked with some of them, and I liked them, and I like this person that I said works at the lounge over there. But there's the ones that are going to march I don't like, and I can't stand. I got no use for it.
And when your church tells you human rights, and you pay no attention to your church?
I pay attention to my church when they say about human rights. But what the marchers want, they don't want rights. They say they want peaceful coexistence. How can they have peaceful coexistence when there's all this trouble?
Who makes the trouble?
They do, by marching. There's got to be a simpler way.
What simpler way can you think of?
Talks. Just talks.
Well, there are human rights commissions in various towns around Chicago, none in Cicero.
They can make them.
You think they should?
They should. I just think that there has got to be a better way than marches. Because there's no use for them.
If, let's say, 10 or 20 families moved into Cicero, which is a town of 70,000.
They'd get killed.
The reason why I play that is because this was this gentleman's view of civil rights protests. He was mad at the marchers because he felt like didn't solve anything. They were making trouble. And so he got on a microphone and he proceeded to talk bad about not all coloreds, but the civil rights marchers. When the broadcaster asked him about human rights and what his church has to say about human rights, notice he was like, yeah, I believe with human rights, but these marchers are wrong. Yeah, I'm all for human rights. Not once did he say, yeah, my church is helping me to think through human rights. Therefore, I understand why they're marching. Because they are not being afforded human rights. No, his solution was just to talk about it. But he was a churchgoer who believed he was advocating for human rights. Well, all the while, really all he wanted, at least the marchers, to do was to sit down and take the slow boat. And I want to submit to all of you guys as I sign off that brand of Christianity is not dead. What would cause somebody to physically see? Now we're talking about the civil rights movement now. We're not talking about today where a lot of conservatives say, hey, there's no racism. Everything is great. Look, we're talking about like as Jim Crow is actually a thing, as black people are being marginalized and hosed, Bloody Sunday. What could cause somebody to see how black people are being mistreated? Then black people decide that they're going to protest, which is their right, their First Amendment right to do so. And they say, they're causing trouble. Why aren't the batons causing trouble? Why aren't the restricted signs causing trouble? Colored only signs causing trouble? Why isn't redlining causing trouble? Why are they causing trouble? And then out of the same mouth, you say you believe in human rights. And that you believe your church's teaching on human rights. Was there something wrong with your church's teaching? This brand of Christianity is not dead. Where somebody can say, I'm for human rights and I'm for the good of all people. But boy, the way I feel about these people actually standing up and advocating for themselves betrays what I'm saying about human rights and being for all people. There are people that can believe that they think the best, feel the best for people, when all the while it's a ruse that really masks their own conscious, subconscious, unconscious, conscious biases and blind spots. Coming for the black church demands a response from those that really understand the history of the black church. Talking greasy and slick, misrepresenting the black church demands a response from those of us that really understand God's story as it pertains to the black church. Disparaging the civil rights movement ain't new. Having a Christianity that says, yeah, I believe in human rights, until people actually stand up and advocate and fight for them, that brand of Christianity still lives today. It is up to you to decide who best exemplifies that and who best exemplifies a Christianity that actually believes in human rights. All right, y'all, that's it.